Everyone's been told, pay off all your loans before you even think about investing. But here's the hidden truth. Some of the world's smartest founders play a completely different game, and it's what separates high-growth companies from those that stay stuck. Ready to see the real playbook? Secret number 1, the top entrepreneurs don't treat debt as a shackle. They turn it into a strategic lever. Instead of obsessively paying down every loan, the savviest use low-interest, fixed-term business loans to unlock growth capital while keeping equity and control. Here's the kicker. According to recent industry data, businesses that strategically use debt for expansion outpaced organic growth only peers by 37% in revenue growth over 3 years. Look at Warby Parker. Early on, instead of diluting ownership with investor capital, they used structured debt to fund inventory and new stores. The result? They scaled at blistering speed and kept a bigger slice of the pie. Secret 2, the real pros don't just ask, can I pay this off? They ask, what's my cost of capital and what's my return on reinvesting? When your business can generate a higher return on investment, ROI, than the after-tax cost of your debt, paying off loans early is actually burning opportunity. For example, if your loan's interest rate is 6%, but your average return on reinvested profits is 15%, every extra dollar into growth, rather than extra payments, moves the needle. Amazon's early days are a masterclass in this. Jeff Bezos kept reinvesting every cent, leveraging credit facilities and supplier terms, betting on higher future returns. That's how Amazon went from bookseller to global giant. Secret 3, the boldest founders weaponize their debt repayments as a credibility badge, not a burden. Each on-time payment builds business credit, unlocking larger, cheaper capital in the future. Data shows that businesses with a top-tier credit profile get loan rates up to 40% lower and qualify for 2x the credit limits compared to mediocre profiles. Picture this. Atlassian, before it was a household name, used disciplined loan repayments to build a pristine business credit rating. Later, when opportunity knocked, they unlocked massive funding at favorable rates, fueling their global expansion without groveling to venture capitalists. Now, if you're still picturing debt as a ball and chain, flip the script. Imagine your business as a high-performance race car at Le Mans. The average driver is obsessed with burning fuel as slowly as possible, terrified of running out. But the champions, they know when to step on the gas, take calculated risks, and pit strategically. Smart debt is your turbo boost. It gets you ahead, but only if you use it intentionally and measure every move. The best drivers don't win by playing it safe. They win by knowing exactly how much risk to take and when. Here's the stat that should make every founder sit up. A recent longitudinal study, companies that balance strategic debt with aggressive reinvestment rather than rushing to zero out all loans were 70% more likely to break into the top quartile of their industry within 5 years. 70%. That's not a rounding error, it's a new league. So what does this mean for your business right now? Stop thinking the path to success is debt-free purity. Instead, adopt the mindset of the world's top-performing founders. Leverage manageable, low-cost debt to accelerate growth. Always measure your return on invested capital versus your cost of borrowing, and use disciplined repayments to build up your business credit arsenal. The goal isn't to avoid all loans. It's to make every dollar you borrow work harder than it costs. It's time to stop letting old-school advice slow you down. The best companies aren't allergic to debt. They wield it with precision. They know that the right loan at the right time is a growth multiplier, not a ball and chain. They understand their numbers, they track ROI obsessively, and they're always asking, is my next dollar best spent paying down a loan or fueling the next leap? The answer? It depends on your growth engine, your margins, and your competitive landscape. Look at the companies dominating today's headlines. They're not waiting until every loan is wiped clean before they invest. They're using structured debt to seize opportunities, outpace rivals, and build empires. They know that access to cheap capital is a weapon, and that weapon is sharpest in the hands of those who know how to use it. So, the next time you're staring at your loan statement, don't ask, how fast can I pay this off? Ask, how can I use this to multiply my business? If your ROI on new projects, inventory, or expansion outstrips the cost of your loan, you're leaving money on the table by paying it off early. Remember, the smartest founders aren't just playing defense, they're running up the score. They see loans as a tool, not a trap. They build credit, keep control, and invest for exponential returns. That's the real secret. And now it's yours. The world's fastest growing companies are not those who fear debt, but those who master it. Will yours be one of them?